Meaning of ball, a round object that is kicked, thrown, or hit in games and sports.
Example 1. He kicked the ball into the goal.
Example 2. The tennis ball bounced high after the serve.
Meaning of game, a competitive activity or sport played according to rules.
Example 1. The soccer game was intense.
Example 2. They played a board game after dinner.
Meaning of team, a group of players forming one side in a competitive game or sport.
Example 1. Our team won the championship.
Example 2. She is the captain of the basketball team.
Meaning of player, a person who participates in a sport or game.
Example 1. The player scored the winning goal.
Example 2. Each player has a specific role on the team.
Meaning of score, the number of points achieved in a game or sport.
Example 1. The final score was 3-2.
Example 2. He checked the score after each quarter.
Meaning of win, to be successful or victorious in a contest or game.
Example 1. They win the match with a last-minute goal.
Example 2. She was determined to win the race.
Meaning of lose, to be defeated in a game or contest.
Example 1. The team didn't want to lose the game.
Example 2. They lost the championship by a single point.
Meaning of match, a contest or game between two or more players or teams.
Example 1. The tennis match lasted 3 hours.
Example 2. It was an exciting match between the top teams.
Meaning of goal, a point scored in a game, or the area where points are scored.
Example 1. He scored a goal in the last minute.
Example 2. The goalkeeper blocked the goal attempt.
Meaning of field, an area of open land, especially one used for sports or games.
Example 1. The soccer field was well maintained.
Example 2. They practiced on the field every afternoon.
Meaning of court, a marked area used for playing sports like tennis, basketball, and badminton.
Example 1. They played tennis on the court.
Example 2. The basketball court was crowded with players.
Meaning of coach, a person who trains and directs athletes or a sports team.
Example 1. The coach gave the team a pep talk before the game.
Example 2. She hired a personal coach to improve her tennis skills.
Meaning of referee, an official who watches a game or match closely to ensure the rules are followed.
Example 1. The referee called a foul during the game.
Example 2. The players respected the referee's decisions.
Meaning of fan, a person who is very enthusiastic about a sport or team.
Example 1. The fans cheered loudly for their team.
Example 2. She is a big fan of soccer.
Meaning of stadium, a large structure with tiers of seats for spectators, used for sports and other events.
Example 1. The stadium was packed with cheering fans.
Example 2. They watched the game at the city's new stadium.
Meaning of fitness, the condition of being physically fit and healthy.
Example 1. She exercises daily to maintain her fitness.
Example 2. Fitness is important for athletes.
Meaning of gym, a place equipped for physical exercise.
Example 1. He goes to the gym every morning.
Example 2. The gym has a wide range of workout equipment.
Meaning of run, to move at a speed faster than a walk, especially for exercise or in a race.
Example 1. She loves to run in the park.
Example 2. They ran a marathon together.
Meaning of jump, to push oneself off a surface and into the air by using the muscles in one's legs and feet.
Example 1. He can jump really high.
Example 2. The athlete jumped over the hurdle.
Meaning of swim, to move through water by using the arms, legs, and body in strokes.
Example 1. She swims laps in the pool every day.
Example 2. He learned to swim at a young age.
Meaning of race, a competition of speed, such as running, swimming, driving, or riding.
Example 1. She participated in a 5K race.
Example 2. The race was very close, with the winner decided by a second.
Meaning of athlete, a person who is proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise.
Example 1. The athlete trained hard for the Olympics.
Example 2. She is a professional athlete in track and field.
Meaning of medal, a metal disc awarded to someone as a distinction for winning or participating in a sport.
Example 1. She won a gold medal in swimming.
Example 2. The athletes were awarded medals for their achievements.
Meaning of league, a group of sports clubs or teams that compete against each other in a particular sport.
Example 1. They play in the local soccer league.
Example 2. The basketball league has 10 teams.
Meaning of championship, a contest for the position of champion in a sport or game.
Example 1. The team won the national championship.
Example 2. They are preparing for the world championship.
Meaning of tournament, a series of contests between a number of competitors, competing for an overall prize.
Example 1. The tennis tournament lasted a week.
Example 2. They entered the golf tournament.
Meaning of marathon, a long-distance running race, traditionally 42.195 kilometers, 26.209 miles.
Example 1. She completed her first marathon last year.
Example 2. Training for a marathon requires a lot of dedication.
Meaning of track, a prepared course or circuit for runners, cyclists, or racing cars.
Example 1. The runners lined up at the track.
Example 2. They practice on the track every morning.
Meaning of field, an area of open land used for sports, especially track and field events.
Example 1. The athletes competed in the field events.
Example 2. The field was marked for the track meet.
Meaning of soccer, a team sport played with a round ball that may not be touched with the hands or arms during play, except by the goalkeepers.
Example 1. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world.
Example 2. He plays soccer every weekend.
Meaning of football, a team sport where the objective is to score points by advancing the ball into the opposing team's end zone, American football, or kicking it into a goal, soccer.
Example 1. He's a big fan of American football.
Example 2. They watched the football match at the stadium.
Meaning of basketball, a team sport where two teams try to score points by throwing a ball through the opposing team's basket.
Example 1. She plays basketball for her school team.
Example 2. The basketball game was very exciting.
Meaning of tennis, a sport where 2 or 4 players strike a ball with rackets over a net into the opponent's court.
Example 1. They play tennis every Saturday morning.
Example 2. The tennis match was intense and competitive.
Meaning of baseball, a bat and ball game played between 2 teams who take turns batting and fielding.
Example 1. Baseball is very popular in the United States.
Example 2. He hit a home run in the baseball game.
Meaning of cricket, a bat and ball game played between 2 teams of 11 players on a field at the center of which is a 22-yard pitch.
Example 1. Cricket is widely played in England and Australia.
Example 2. The cricket match lasted for several hours.
Meaning of rugby, a contact team sport that originated in England, played with an oval ball that may be kicked, carried, and passed from hand to hand.
Example 1. Rugby is a physically demanding sport.
Example 2. They play rugby every weekend.
Meaning of golf, a sport where players use clubs to hit balls into a series of holes on a course in as few strokes as possible.
Example 1. He enjoys playing golf on the weekends.
Example 2. The golf course was beautifully maintained.
Meaning of hockey, a sport in which 2 teams play against each other by trying to maneuver a ball or puck into the opponent's goal using a hockey stick.
Example 1. Hockey is played on both ice and grass.
Example 2. The hockey team won their match yesterday.
Meaning of skate, to move on ice or another surface using ice skates or roller skates.
Example 1. They went to the rink to skate.
Example 2. He learned how to skate when he was a child.
Meaning of boxing, a combat sport in which 2 people, usually wearing protective gloves, throw punches at each other for a predetermined amount of time in a boxing ring.
Example 1. Boxing requires strength and strategy.
Example 2. The boxing match ended in a knockout.
Meaning of karate, a martial art developed in Japan that emphasizes striking techniques such as punching, kicking, and knee strikes.
Example 1. He has a black belt in karate.
Example 2. Karate teaches discipline and self-defense.
Meaning of judo, a modern Japanese martial art and Olympic sport that focuses on throws and grappling techniques.
Example 1. She won a judo competition last year.
Example 2. Judo is a popular martial art worldwide.
Meaning of wrestling, a combat sport involving grappling techniques such as throws, takedowns, and pins.
Example 1. Wrestling is one of the oldest sports in the world.
Example 2. The wrestling match was intense and physical.
Meaning of gymnastics, a sport that involves exercises requiring balance, strength, flexibility, agility, coordination, and endurance.
Example 1. She practices gymnastics 3 times a week.
Example 2. The gymnastics competition was held at the local gym.
Meaning of cycling, the sport or activity of riding a bicycle.
Example 1. He enjoys cycling through the countryside.
Example 2. Cycling is a great way to stay fit.
Meaning of skiing, a sport in which participants use skis to glide on snow.
Example 1. They went skiing in the Alps last winter.
Example 2. Skiing is a popular winter sport.
Meaning of snowboarding, a winter sport that involves descending a snow-covered slope on a snowboard.
Example 1. She learned snowboarding on her vacation.
Example 2. Snowboarding requires good balance and coordination.
Meaning of surfing, the sport of riding waves toward the shore, typically on a surfboard.
Example 1. He loves surfing in the ocean.
Example 2. Surfing is a popular activity in coastal areas.
Meaning of skating, the act of moving on ice or another surface using skates.
Example 1. They spent the afternoon skating at the rink.
Example 2. Skating can be done on ice or with roller skates.
Meaning of archery, the sport or skill of shooting with a bow and arrows, especially at a target.
Example 1. She practices archery in her free time.
Example 2. Archery requires precision and focus.
Meaning of fencing, a sport in which 2 competitors fight using swords, typically foils or sabers.
Example 1. He joined the fencing club at school.
Example 2. Fencing is both a physical and mental challenge.
Meaning of badminton, a racket sport played using rackets to hit a shuttlecock across a net.
Example 1. They played badminton in the backyard.
Example 2. Badminton is a fast-paced sport.
Meaning of table tennis, a sport in which 2 or 4 players hit a lightweight ball back and forth across a table using small rackets.
Example 1. Table tennis is also known as ping pong.
Example 2. They enjoy playing table tennis after work.
Meaning of squash, a racket sport played by 2 or 4 players in a 4-walled court with a small, hollow rubber ball.
Example 1. He plays squash at the local sports center.
Example 2. Squash is a great workout.
Meaning of rowing, a sport where athletes race in boats using oars to propel themselves through the water.
Example 1. She joined the rowing team at university.
Example 2. Rowing requires strength and coordination.
Meaning of canoeing, the sport or activity of paddling a canoe.
Example 1. They went canoeing down the river.
Example 2. Canoeing is a peaceful way to explore nature.
Meaning of kayaking, a water sport that involves paddling a small craft called a kayak through water.
Example 1. He enjoys kayaking in the lake.
Example 2. Kayaking can be done on calm or rough waters.
Meaning of climbing, the sport or activity of ascending mountains or rock faces.
Example 1. They went climbing in the mountains.
Example 2. Climbing requires both physical strength and mental focus.
Meaning of mountaineering, the sport or activity of climbing mountains.
Example 1. Mountaineering is both challenging and rewarding.
Example 2. They prepared carefully before their mountaineering expedition.
Meaning of diving, the sport or activity of jumping or falling into water from a platform or springboard.
Example 1. She practices diving at the local pool.
Example 2. Diving competitions are held at various heights.